So as you can see, I've got some holes in my floor pan, and my other stuff's good and dry. See, I can even stick my pinky in here. That's a hole. That's all the way through, and it's, like I said, it's a little bit smaller than my tip of my pinky. What I'm going to use is POR 15 patch filler and seam sealer. So I've used this stuff a bunch of times before. I really like it. You can get it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description of this video. I use this on my, sorry, my gloves are a little ragged. I use this on the Mustang floor swap that I did. I know a lot of people never saw that, didn't want to because it was a Ford, and I understand. But it was kind of a cool project. For these big holes, I have here just an old piece of steel wool that I used on that grill, and got my just a Bondo mixing board here. So what I'm going to do with this, open her up, you break the seal, and I'll show you what this stuff's like. Like that amount right there. Let me cap it back off. You could leave the cap off for a while if you wanted to, but that amount right there would probably cover 5 square inches. I'm sorry, so 25 square inches, so a 5 by 5 space. But I've got it there. I just got my old Bondo spreader. This is actually one I've used before, kind of cleaned up. But just look how thin. You could wipe that stuff almost into nothing. And basically what I'm going to do is get back to my hole. So I'll tear off my little piece of steel wool. I'm just going to dip it and use my spreader, kind of mash it in. This stuff you put right over rust, so if this steel wool is coated with it, it will never rust again. It's going to harden basically into a solid. Get in on that. Basically I'm taking that, I'll lay over my hole, because there's only like 2, maybe 3 tiny holes in this whole floor pan. So I'll lay it over my hole, take my spreader, take some more of that, just like that, and I'll coat her down. So you could even, if you wanted to use a window screen, you could. I've done that before. I don't have any here, and I have my gloves are actually double layered, because this stuff will stick with you. You will have a black hand and not be able to get rid of it. My plan is to spread, I'm going to do a thin layer over everything that looks thin, like any metal that's thinned out some, and I'm telling you, this stuff, it will be there. I get my top side looking good, I'll just roll underneath on a creeper and give it a quick wipe. There'll be thick carpet and padding over this. So again, I'm not sweating it. I wanted to get my little spots covered. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3. I'll let those dry with my thin coat. Now I'll come back and coat this whole section real quick with this stuff. So y'all hang out. So I've got my stuff spread here. It is drying pretty nicely. I went over my major rusty spots, went over my seams, which this stuff is a filler and seam sealer, so that works out nicely for me. Had one little spot over there. I need to throw in my 2 rubbers, 1 and 2. I've got my wiring harness wrapped after I inspected those wires. None of them are worn through. They just, you know, another week or 2 and they could have been. But, I've got here my carpet laying out. This is always a good idea. Get your carpet laid out in the sunshine. Some directions say to. I always do it. It just kind of helps get some of the wrinkles out, makes it more pliable. Like that's pretty warm to the touch right now. And the trailer itself is already hot, so we'll be laying it in shortly. I will get my can of spray adhesive, and kind of like you can see, I don't know if they meant to do this or not from the factory, but like this was sprayed, that back was sprayed, and it was kind of sprayed a little bit around where the seats go. I like that idea, so it'll help me. I'll get that stuff laid in, probably get some blocks on top of it or something, and let it dry, at least get stuck down to here, so that when I go to poke my holes from the bottom, the carpet's not going to instantly come up. So I got my pick stuck through the bottom. This is my drill, and it's like a 40 caliber bullet hole. I'll get it chucked back up. Just a second. So it gives you that. Then I'm putting that down on top of my pick and push straight down. The pick's gonna fall out. But now, drill that, and I got a hole for the seat to drop into. See if I can show you how decent that looks. I can fit my pinky in it almost. That's it. He had one job. One job.
All right. Now I can pull it back farther, but it's not made for what I can do.
All right, let me get down. I probably mooned the world, but I won't charge him a thing. Mine's in. These are LMC truck pieces, and they're like 20 bucks a piece or something, 25 before shipping. Pretty proud of that. Notice here they got a lip, and that lip actually hangs over your rubber, so it kind of goes to the outside like this. And if you'll remember, I had a couple screws break off, or maybe I didn't show that, I don't remember. But what I'm going to actually do is slide this back just about a 1/4 inch, or I can go forward a 1/4 inch, it doesn't matter. And then drill 4 new holes, so I know this will be secured. I got my old screws, and I actually had a parts truck out there. See if I can show you those. I was able to just hit them on a wire wheel and then run them over a buffer, metal buffer, with a little compound. So they shined up pretty nice. They'll look fine in there. No biggie. I'm gonna do my outer ones probably here shortly. I like to go step by step. But I've got my new door rubber, and I'm gonna get it installed. See if I can zoom you on that. There it is. So they actually give you a little bit of some adhesive. Where am I going? There it is. They give you some adhesive made into the rubber, so that's awesome. Right here. you'll remember this stuff's got a piece of metal in it. So I'm gonna grab a good pair of 10 snips. Actually, I can probably use this hacksaw. Little hacksaw action. And get that cut at the bottom. Oh yeah. I hope Bill likes that. He's pretty critical. He helped me put that seat in. Or maybe he watched and Harvey helped. I don't know. Alright, so I got a new piece sitting on here. And I'm just going to show you the old holes it basically lines up with. But it puts this trim piece out pretty far. And it lines up with 2/3 of the holes. What I'm actually going to do is tuck the trim piece in as far as it'll go. Line it up with these holes. And then just slide it just like I did this piece. I'll go about, I don't know, a 1/4 inch forward so that it's past all my other holes. Now it lines up with this piece. These screws line up, these screws line up, these screws line up, and I'll get it screwed down. But before I screw it down, so I'm gonna put down a little bit of the Eastwood seam sealer, and I'll just do a little dab, probably 2 or 3 dabs. So when it smashes down, it keeps that piece, if ever it did get loose, it wouldn't rattle, it wouldn't scrape, anything like that. Just kind of a little bit of insurance. No big deal. I'm gonna get it mounted up now and show you in a minute. Look at that. It's like new money. Got them all on the row, got them tightened up. Interior is in. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time. We'll finish up some more stuff on the old Blue Meanie.